Now the first chakra is the one which manifests outside the pelvic plexus, which the doctors know of. And this plexus looks after the excretory system of human beings. Even the sex is looked after by this particular. Now, one must understand that Kundalini does not pierce through the first chakra. So the sex does not play any part in the ascending Kundalini. Those people who preach that through sex you can reach God are doing all anti-God activities. One must know that if you indulge too much into sex and perverted sex, you develop diseases. Those people who are also austere type, who lead an unnatural life, also become very dry and impossible to be understood by anyone, as they have no emotional being left in them. So one has to be in the center of their innocence. And once you have maintained that innocence, it is very easy to raise the Kundalini. There is a big force of Kundalini rising in a person who has led an innocent married life. But unfortunately, in the West especially, many writers like Freud, we should say philosophers, have done such harm to people that the result of that today we are seeing in the diseases of such nature like AIDS. In Sahaja Yoga, automatically, once the Kundalini rises, you start becoming a very balanced personality. That you lead a very sane sexual life. As a result of this nonsensical theory, today we find so many marriages broken, so many divorces, so many children stranded, so many people hurt in their heart. Due to this satanic attack on human innocence, human beings have accepted such absurd ideas that they think they have to now become a sex point. Instead of becoming a human being, which is the epitome of complete creation, the one who is the rightful owner of God's kingdom, the one who has to lead the eternal life, the one who has to enjoy the blissful benediction of his Father. Today, in this society, we find people wasting their life, ruining their families, ruining their children, women fighting with men, men fighting with women. It's horrid. So one has to understand that once the Kundalini gets awakened, a person automatically starts gearing up to the natural forces of divinity. If both the partners are realized souls, the relationship is so deep that even if they may not sort of show off the relationship, inside their heart the security of oneness, the absolute enjoyment of the romance manifests. Nowadays, Romeo and Juliet are changing according to the hairstyle one has. You see people going on an escalator for a divorce and showing off their love by kissing each other, and if you ask them, where are you going? They are going to the divorce case. Is this any development where everyone is insecure, where every child faces the catastrophe to fall upon him one day? Without realization, it is impossible now at this stage where the society has reached its disastrous point to understand the value of companionship. So the first thing that happens to a person is that he develops a sane attitude towards sex and towards his partner. Of course, you don't have to run away from sex, but also not to be so much dominated by sex life that there is nothing else left in your life. Such strengthening boundaries are created, that you enjoy all that strength within yourself. You never hurt another person. You always try to make the other person really joyous. You see the good points of another person. And you have such tremendous capacity of wisdom and poise that the whole system changes and the married life becomes a beautiful dream. There is a very great writer in England called Barbara Cortlandt, and they took her interview. And she's a very religious woman, very nice person, a realized soul. And she is the most popular. Her books sell like hotcakes all over the world. And they asked her, how is it you manage that? So she said, every man and woman, in their hearts of hearts, want to lead a very happy, joyous, romantic life. But the key to that is complete fidelity and loyalty and enjoyment of married life. And she goes further to say that if you can produce such ideal romantic couples, people like to see their imagination reflected. But that can be seen when you really get your realization automatically, you don't have to read her. Secondly, your innocence is awakened within you, which grows gradually, and you enjoy your innocence. You enjoy your virtues. Sometimes we are very cunning, we are deceiving ourselves. Especially the intelligence has a capacity to cheat itself. But you develop that pure intelligence which is called as wisdom. But the manifestation of that is very great. A society of such people is so pure. The relationship with the husband-wife are the only private relationships, and with others they are all pure, absolutely pure relations. There are no complications. The life is so simple. There are no emotional problems. There are no sex problems. There are no problems about children. You get very beautiful realized souls as your children. Very healthy, very wise, and extremely joy-giving. They don't cry too much, they don't trouble you too much, but they are all the time thinking how to respect their parents and how to give them joy. There are thousands and thousands like this in this country, I know, who are born realized children. I see them in the market, I see them on the road, I see them in the restaurant. But the parents don't understand them at all, because they are born at a higher level than their parents. They are special people taken birth to do the great work of God. And unless and until the parents are realized souls, they will be always a hindrance to the children's growth.